plotters, pantsers, outliners, freehanders, new authors, old authors, and readers alike. Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl, Chasadora, the literary juggernaut, with over 23 years of both practical and educational experience in the literary field. I am the go-to girl for all things literature. I also am 34 years old with 34 books that have been published and released of my own, not to mention those that I ghostwrite for others, publish for others, and many, many more things. I am here we are going to go between the lines. This is a new series that I look forward to bringing to you guys with every upcoming release. And the first one we'll talk about today is my latest release that came out on the 9th of August, and it is called The Deadliest Sins. And it is my 34th release, which is crazy because I am 34 years old and I did not even realize that Deadliest Sins was my 34th release until I sat down and started preparing to do this video. So like I said, that's amazing in itself, but I just cannot wait to get into conversations with you guys about this book. I tried my hardest to wait as long as I could to do this video to give you guys time to read it, and find out some of this stuff for yourself before I just started spilling my guts about it, because again, I freaking love this book. So yeah, hopefully you guys have read it. If not, go get it. It is $4.99. However, if you have Kindle Unlimited, it is free. So there is nothing stopping you from reading this greatness that I'm about to speak about. Right. So, like I said, The Deadliest Sins is book one, actually, in a 3-part series. Now, of course, that's always 3-part series with an asterisk on it, because I firmly believe in telling the story in its entirety. I do not limit myself to the 3-book format that is customary of a series. When it comes to the urban fiction genre, I am the type of person who is going to develop the characters. I'm going to develop the plot, and however many books it takes to get all of that out, that's how long the series is going to be. However, when I was plotting out this series in its entirety, I initially set it to be a 3-book series. Now, of course, that can always change, barring you guys find a character that you love to death and you want to know more about, or if we get to book 3 and there's still issues that need to be resolved, we'll make it a book 4, and so on until the story is told. But right now, it is a 3-book series, like I said, with an asterisk. But this 3-book series follows behind the members of the Black Ring Cartel and those closest to them to find out what happens when they overindulge in the deadliest sins. Now, we all know what the deadliest sins are, at least I hope we do, but to give you a rundown, it is gluttony, greed, wrath, lust, did I say greed? Pride, envy, and sloth. Those are the 7 deadly sins. So what happens in this book, it follows mainly the characters Madness, Havoc, and London. Those are the primary 3 characters, but there are a litany of other characters in the story that are important to these characters in their various roles and capacity that are discussed, because of course, like I said, they do play a huge role in the story. But it starts off with London finding out her boyfriend Madness's big secret. London and Madness have been together for years, over a decade, and she finds out this really huge secret, which really is the catalyst for everything that happens in the book going forward. After that secret is revealed, Madness kind of has to figure out how to keep that secret under wraps, because he he's the big man in charge. He is the boss. He is capo. He is jefe of Black Rain Cartel. He has what he feels is an image to uphold in order for everyone to continue to fall in line and respect him the way he feels he needs to be respected, for his organization to continue to thrive the way that it has been for so long, and just for him to keep things the way he wants them to be. He wants to keep his secret under wraps. However, for London, that is impossible because she cannot live with his secret. His secret is a deal breaker for her. And though she doesn't really look down upon what the secret is, she just cannot live with it. You know, it's his cross to bear. She wants him to go ahead, deal with it, go be happy. But she doesn't want any part of it. The only problem with that is Madness refuses to let her out of the relationship for various reasons which are further explained throughout the book. Now, in that, Havoc comes into place. Now, Havoc, whose real name is Kyrie McKissick, but he goes by Havoc, he's so complex. I love Havoc. I think Havoc is actually my favorite character. But Havoc comes up with this grand idea. He is a part of the Black Rain Cartel. He's not as high up on the totem pole as Madness because it is Madness's organization, but he has big plans and goals and aspirations to be in Madness's seat. Very literally, he wants the seat. He doesn't want to, you know, sit beside him. He doesn't want to be a right-hand man. He wants the throne, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get it. So with the help of his girlfriend, Von Trell, which she goes by Vonnie, with her help, they devise this grand scheme using the weakness of Madness's secret against both Madness and London, and he takes that as a primary opportunity to, you know, weasel himself into a position that could get him everything he wants. The only thing he does not count on when this occurs is that he truly develops feelings for London, feelings that he did not anticipate, and that sends everything spiraling, really, because as he is getting what he wanted, getting closer to Madness, you know, learning the big secrets in the organization, potentially going to meet, you know, buyers in other countries and ways, you know, that they can expand and grow, there is this feeling of like real love starting to brew for London. And like I said, that's something that he did not anticipate, especially since he came up with this entire plan with his girlfriend that London knows nothing about. So while London and Havoc are getting to know each other, and their feelings are starting to develop, she doesn't know he has this whole separate life outside of her. So where she thinks she's escaping one secret, she's actually running right into another set of secrets, which has a whole different set of problems that come along with it. And for Havoc, the same thing occurs, whereas he wanted his big ticket in. He saw the big ticket, but now he doesn't want to use her as a ticket anymore because of those feelings. He develops feelings for her instead of just wanting to use her to get what he wants. This, of course, is a problem because, as stated, he is in a relationship, a whole ass relationship. So those are just some of the things that happen with a few of the main characters in the book. But we'll get back to that in just a second. The characters, there are also characters, Solomon, which is Havoc's younger brother, plays a big role in the story. Where the story starts off for him, he is just now coming back from active military duty. He decided not to re-enlist, wants to come back, and he wants to get straight into the street life. However, Havoc is not really for that. He thinks that his brother can do so much better than running in the streets. The only reason he really got caught up in it in the first place, as far as Havoc, is because at that time he needed to do so. It was really an only resort for him, but he does not want to see his brother take that same path. And that's a point of contention between the two, because though Havoc wants to protect his brother is a grown-ass man who knows what he wants to do and is going to find out a way to do it, whether he has his brother's blessing or not. So that's another point of contention between them two. Other characters that are super important to the story, because breadcrumbs and what a tangled web we weave, is Special Agent Jackson Reed. Jackson is a very interesting character to me because he is a special agent, as I stated before, and he actually works for the DEA, Drug Enforcement. So, whoa, we have a drug enforcement officer in the midst. Jackson's main objective is to take down Madness. He has been trying to for years. He's made several attempts to do so, and in those attempts he has failed before, and it actually put him in a place where he was a laughing stock a little bit for a long time with his job, until another life event rather superseded that for him. But now he is refocused, rededicated to taking down Madness, because he really wants to do so in order to get this great big promotion and step up in the agency in order to earn more money, so that he and his wife Elodie, or Elle as he calls her, can continue their IVF treatments in hopes of having a child. Again, that brings a point of contention, because where she's trying to do this IVF treatment, he kind of does not want to do it anymore. He really didn't want her to do it in the first place. And for Elodie, her longing is to be a mother. She wants that so bad. But for Jackson, he doesn't really see it that way. So again, this becomes another point of contention, because in order for him to, in order for them rather to even be able to continue to afford to do this, some more money is going to have to come in. So he really wants to take down Madness so he can get a raise, so he can get a promotion within the department. Therefore, he can get a raise and continue to fund these IVF treatments so that his wife can get pregnant. Now, in researching, along with his partner Ozzy Shaw, Reed, or Special Agent Reed, actually starts to stumble upon piece by piece by piece of information that leads him right to London's doorstep. And again, we have a character who sees a prime opportunity in London to get what they want out of the situation. So yeah, like it's a lot. It is a lot of characters. It's a lot of, like I said, true to life situations. And that's just some of the things. What I really love, like I said, about the Deadliest Sins is that it does not follow a lot of the urban fiction tropes that we are accustomed to, that have been recycled and reused over and over and over and over and over again. And that's not to say that those stories are not good stories, because of course they're selling, so people are reading them. But I personally take pride in writing, because this is not just a quick paycheck for me. This is literally the only thing I have ever wanted to do with my life since I was a kid, except for the time when I was 10 years old and wanted to be a lawyer. But 11 years old onwards, it's been a writer. I've always wanted to write. I've always cared about character development. I've always wanted, my stories to be unique and about something, not just, the typical, girl falls in love with drug dealer, just is the hero, the knight in shining armor that she wants, and he buys her all the Gucci bags and all the Fendi purses and all of that good stuff, which again, that's great, that's wonderful. I name drop some labels in my work when I want to showcase how much money a particular character spends or has, or whatever the case. But I wanted there to be real substance in this, especially since this was my first indie release where I have 100,000% control over everything. Like I said, I think I told the people who are on my email list this one time, when you are with a publisher, they have the final say so with everything. So whereas, for example, my previous release before this one was going to be titled Gone Off X. I love the title. The main character's name was Xavier. The girl fell in love with X. So I thought it would be fantastic. I thought that was great. My light went off again. Sorry. But when I got ready to turn into the publisher, he was like, no, I don't like it. This is what we're going to call it. And it ended up being called Saved by a Kingpin. So, so now having full total control over the book from start to finish, I really wanted it to, you know, have some real life in it, be a lot more relatable, even though these characters are characters. I mean, even though, you know, they're fictional characters, I still wanted them to be relatable. I wanted them to have issues that any person in this world can have, and I really wanted you guys to connect with them. I wanted to, when I went about writing it, I wanted to approach it like a showrunner preparing for a TV show. I wanted to think about everything that really would impact the characters, their situations, and you as far as the readers. I really wanted you to be able to see, like, oh my gosh, I am here in this story going through this craziness with these people. And that was something that was a big deal for me. This book is super duper long. It's over 136,000 words, by far my longest book to date. I think the runner up behind it is actually a book that I did with Soul, who is my writing cohort. We do books together sometimes, and our book, Never Thought I Love a Dope Boy, or maybe The Girl Next Door, one of them, were in the 90,000 word range. But this book is, like I said, by far the longest thing I have ever written by myself in this lengthy career of mine. And I even had to cut it off and be like, okay, you gotta stop. You have to stop, or you're never gonna put the book out. So I just, like I said, I just love these characters. Every single character is complex, three-dimensional. No one's just like, oh, she's just the girly girl, or she, you know, she's the tomboy, or, you know, no one's just one thing. There's no one, I'm pretty sure that there's no one in the story that you're gonna just be like, oh, I hate him, and that's it. You know, that's the complexity that I'm talking about. To whereas, yes, a lot of these characters will do a lot of shit that you do not like, because it's like, girl, get it together, sis, or bruh, you full of shit, bruh. But you're not just gonna be like, flat out, I hate them. You know, some of the things they do, though they may be jacked up, I think you'll be able to relate, or at least empathize on, again, why they respond the way they do, why they act the way they act, and, you know, things of that nature. What else? What else? This book took me 2 months to write, which, well, 2.5 months. I'll say 2.5 months to write. I think the bulk of that time, though, was because when I first got the ideas for the Deadliest Sins, they just came rapid fire. It was like boom, 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 boom. And in between the ideas, the characters actually started talking and telling me the story, so I would have to stop and get, you know, the dialogue down so I don't lose those pieces of dialogue and things like that. And I also outlined all 3 books from the beginning, which is something that I usually don't even do. Like, the ideas will have to come to me as I'm writing them, but this time it was just, like I said, rapid fire, boom, boom, boom. This is this character, this is this character, here's the thing with this character, here's the thing with this character, and it all just came. So as soon as it started flooding my brain, I was like, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be, again, the best book you've ever written, because you're too in it. You're in it. Like, you are already deep in it, and you haven't even started officially writing. Yeah, and it didn't, from there, it really was like that. Like I said, once I started writing, because I already knew exactly what I wanted for every single chapter in the book, It was just like boom, 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 boom. In that though, because I am a perfectionist, even though I know and I'm fully aware that there's no such thing as perfection, I am my biggest critic when it comes to my books, because I don't like putting out anything that I would not personally read, because I am a book snob. I am the first to admit that. So if it's not a book that I can get through, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to waste my time. But if I can get through it, I'm pretty sure it's good. It's good money. And I breezed through this book and laughed and was mad and wanted to cry and just felt bad. And you know, it took me through the emotions, which is exactly what I was aiming for. And I just hope it does the same for you guys. And I hope you guys find characters that you love and you can relate to. Maybe if, whether it be, you know, like I said, the IVF situation that Jackson and Elodie have going on, through the trust issues that really impact all the couples in a relationship, because honestly it feels like somebody is lying to, so everybody is lying at one point or another, it feels like. What else? I wanted to make the city of New York really like an extra character in the book, because your surroundings can impact the story in ways that you can't even imagine. It can really help, you know, set the tone for the scene. You know, it can give you a romantic vibe. It can give you, like, it can intensify a tense situation. It can add elements of suspense and things like that I think are really, that are really X factors in stories. So I really wanted to make New York and surrounding states, because I know I have a lot of stuff about New Jersey. I have a couple of New Jersey scenes in there. We have a trip to Nantucket, and things like that. So, you know, New York and surrounding areas, but primarily New York is a big character in the story as well. You know, so I just wanted to touch on some of that, you know, really give it that grit that I wanted the story to have, without it just being like so overtly stereotypical, you know, of urban fiction, because I personally pride myself on not writing typical average books. Does it hurt me in the long run? Maybe, maybe not. Because sometimes there are a collective of people who just want to read the same stories over and over and over again. All right, girl, if that's what you want to do, okay. But, you know, for me, I like to try to, you know, switch it up and bring good stories. I want my readers to enjoy good stories and characters that, you know, they want to see on a screen somewhere, or a story that they want brought to light in some type of series or something like that. That's the type of stuff I look for in a book, you know, one that I have to tell my friends, oh man, you got to read this book. And I really hope that that is the case for you guys when you read The Deadliest Sins. I think I covered everything though on this Between the Lines. Trust, betrayal, lies. We have a couple of like really big events where things just go nuts. So yeah. Again, available now on Amazon.com. The Deadliest Sins is only $4.99 and free for those who have Kindle Unlimited. So I hope you check it out. Actually, do check it out. And when you do check it out, come back here, drop down in the comments below. Tell me, who is your favorite character and why? Who is your favorite character and why? And who is your least favorite character and why? I'll answer those questions really quickly before I go. And let's see here. My favorite character, like I said, I actually mentioned it earlier in the video. My favorite character is Havoc. He is the one I have the most fun writing for, or most fun, you know, writing, because Havoc is the type of guy where he's sort of a chameleon. He adjusts wherever or however the situation calls for it. He is generally a great guy. Most of the things that he does is motivated by helping someone else, or providing something that someone else needs who is close to him. But Havoc also is very quick-tempered. So, he does not play the radio. You're not going to just run up on him and think shit's going to be sweet. You're not going to try to run off on his money and think it's going to be good. But at the same time, he will also sit and have a conversation and talk. And, even if you just want someone to listen to you vent, Havoc is the type of person that will do that. Despite his money and how much money he has, his access and all of that, he's really a down-to-earth person. He just gets into, he's just a little too smart for himself at sometimes, and it backfires on him in ways that he did not imagine possible. My least favorite character, like I said, I love them all so much, I don't know who my least favorite character would be. Is it Ant? I want to say it's Ant, but I don't think it is. I love all the characters, but the least favorite, for the sake of answering this question, is going to be Manuel Madness Fels Ame. Madness is going to be who I picked for my least favorite, and it's going to be because ultimately I think he is very selfish. He is extremely selfish, actually. Yeah. Without giving away all the story, without you reading it, he's very selfish, and I don't like selfish people. So he's going to be the one I say is my least favorite. So yeah. So, like I said, go check out the book. The link will be in the description box below. Read it, share it with a friend, because it's freaking amazing and everyone needs to read it. Don't forget, like I said, to drop down in the comments below with who's your favorite and your least favorite character. And until next time, guys, this has been Between the Lines with Chase Adora.